Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for our first virtual open house. As you can see, the agenda is listed here. We're just going to have a welcome from our president, Dr. Tim Wright, and then we're going to go into the great reasons of why you should pick Wilson Community College, the admissions process, what that looks like, paying for college and the process there. And then our deans are going to go over what their programs are, to highlight some programs and talk about the great benefits of joining those programs and the jobs that they lead to after college. But thank you for joining us today. I'm going to hand it over to Dr. Tim Wright.
Thank you, Josh. Good morning, everybody. And thank you for joining us this morning. I'll keep my introduction and welcome short because I know there are a bunch of other people from the college on this presentation who will be able to answer any questions that you may have. But I just want to say that I encourage you to explore the opportunities here at Wilson Community College. Whether you want to get some of your four-year degree here and then transfer to a four-year college, or whether you're looking for a two-year degree here in the technical programs, it's a great deal for you. We have an array of technical programs for which we keep really state-of-the-art equipment, so that we make sure that you're training on what you'll encounter when you get out and get your job in that industry. And we also keep very close ties to all of those industries who do that hiring as well. They're our partners. So any of those, welding, applied engineering, auto tech, electrical, all of those, I would encourage you to take a hard look at if you're interested in that. On the college transfer side, we have a bunch of students all the time who transfer from here and go to universities, well, all over, but of course, most of them in North Carolina. And it varies from year to year, but on average, more than 80% of our students who take at least a year of classes here and then transfer to a university are still at that university and doing very well a year later. So in other words, they're doing as well as the students who began at the university. So literally you can start here and go anywhere. And the great thing about it is it's here close to home, and you'll get individual attention from your instructors, and it will save you tens of thousands of dollars. And I know this sounds like a commercial, and you might say, what's the catch? Well, there is no catch. Everything I've told you is the truth, and there's no but at the end of it. So please take the opportunity today, students and parents who are on this call, ask all of the questions that you want to ask, and not just on this call today, anytime in the future that you have a question. Email us, pick up the phone and call, and we'll get you in touch with somebody that you can talk to personally who will get your questions answered and help you. So thanks to all the college folks, by the way, and the local high school folks who put this call together. Thank you for doing that. And thanks to all of our own Wilson Community College folks who are on this call who are going to help all the students today. So hope you guys enjoy this and that it's a successful experience for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Wright. So as Dr. Wright mentioned, there are many benefits of coming to a community college. I know when I was in high school, I didn't fully understand that. I bought into some of the stigmas that follows community colleges, and many of them are just untrue. And so I want to talk about some of those today, talk about the admissions process, and then, of course, paying for college. So the first benefit that comes to mind to coming to a Wilson Community College is the price. You're going to save a lot of money by coming to the community college, whether that means you're coming here for 2 years and transferring to a university, or whether that means you're coming here for 2 years or 1 year and going straight to a job. We can take you both routes. And so we have a great opportunity with our transfer program, because if you come here for 2 years versus going straight to a university, you're looking at a large amount of savings. It's about $1,300 a semester to attend Wilson Community College. So, less than $3,000 a year. If you go straight to a state college or a private university that isn't a 2-year program, then you're looking at paying a lot more, up to 20, 30, even 40, $50,000 just to go there, stay on campus for tuition, meal plans. All of that adds up. And so by starting with us and doing the transfer route, you can save a lot of money just in those first 2 years. And the benefit is, once you finish here, if you get that associate in arts or associate in science, which are our 2 transfer degrees, when you go transfer to the university, you are guaranteed to start off as a junior. You're guaranteed for all of your classes to transfer. And so you don't have that headache of wondering what's going to transfer. We have an agreement with most schools in North Carolina, both state and private schools, that your classes are guaranteed to transfer if you get acceptance. And you are also, if you get that college transfer degree, guaranteed acceptance into one of our state universities. So it may not be your exact first choice. It may be, it just depends. But you're guaranteed admission at least into one of our state schools in North Carolina if you come here and do the 2-year transfer degree. We also have dual admissions agreement with NC State, where you can get your early acceptance here your first year, and then even in your second year with us, you may can even start taking NC State classes while you're still here. And we also have early acceptance agreements with East Carolina and UNCW. And so you're looking at a great benefit of starting with us and then transferring. And Dr. Roberts is going to talk about that a little bit later on. But if you're going straight to a job, that's a cool part about the trades in our community colleges. There's a lot of 1-year diplomas and 2-year degrees that land very good jobs that pay well. And again, you're only looking at $1,300 a semester to get a very good job versus going off to a 4-year school and do a 4-year program and starting off in a job that pays very similar to our 2-year degrees or our 1-year diplomas. And so that is a huge benefit for you. Some of you may not recognize this as a benefit, but for some of you, it may be a benefit that you get to stay close to home for a little bit longer. If you have a parent that helps cook or, helps, do your laundry, that can be a benefit. And so that some students I know are like, whoa, I'm ready to get out of town. But for some people, that could be a great benefit, is being right here in town that you grew up. Another great advantage is our student-teacher ratio is 1:11. So when you come here, your instructors know who you are. They know your name. They know your needs. They recognize when you're not in class, when you're not participating, and you're not just a number. And because of that, you get a great learning experience because you get to ask more questions. You get more involvement from your instructor, and that's a huge benefit. If you go off to some of the state schools like NC State or East Carolina your first year, and there's a great schools, but you may be in a class of 200, 300, 400 people. And so a benefit of coming here is you get more hands-on instruction from your instructor. And so that is a great bit of advantage of coming here. Another great advantage, going back to the transfer program, is you may be in your senior year, and I'm going to tell my story. My senior year, I had the worst case of senioritis there probably is. I failed 3 classes my senior year. And so I went to apply for colleges. I was very limited on who would accept me. So I went to community college, got my grades up, got the transfer degree, and then I went back and applied to East Carolina and I got in. You may, be applying to colleges now, and you may not get into your first choice. The cool part about coming here is you can do 2 years and then try again for that school. You may just settle for plan B and go to another college. But if you have a college that you've been wanting to go to your whole life and you get denied or waitlisted, you can come here for 2 years and still achieve that dream and transfer back there. Those colleges and universities tell us all the time they love our transfer students. Our students have a high success rate once they get there because you're getting that great hands-on learning from your instructor, that when you go to the college or university, you're statistically more likely or as likely to graduate from that 4-year school as their own rising sophomores. And so that's a huge benefit of coming here first, because it's a great transition, and then you still get to go to your dream school later and transfer out. And we have students that go pretty much anywhere when they graduate here. Just have a strong GPA. If you work hard and you apply to the college that you want to, you have a good chance of getting in. And so that's a huge benefit. Another benefit that traditionally, like when I went to community college, wasn't quite there, and it is now, is we have great on-campus resources and hands-on advising. We're going to make sure that when you get here, that we aren't, there's no gap between your awesome school counselors that you have now and then your advisors when you get here. They're actually going to meet with you. They're going to sit down with you, and they're going to go over what your needs are, what your goals are, and help you accomplish those goals as soon as possible to benefit you both in your career and financially, so you don't spend a bunch of money taking classes that you don't need. And so we have great advising here. We have an advising center. They're going to sit down with you. They're going to pick out the classes with you, and they're going to make sure that you graduate when you want to graduate and you're meeting your academic and professional goals when you finish. We also have great on-campus resources, including free tutoring. We have this great program. It's called TRIO and Student Support Services. They offer free tutoring. Outside of the era of COVID, they offer trips to colleges and universities. So maybe if you want to go to NC State or NC Central or one of the colleges in our area, when you graduate, they go and visit those campuses, do campus tours, offer academic counseling, and they're trying to also help you make sure you're meeting your goals as you go along. But they also offer free tutoring, and we also have an online free tutoring service as well called NetTutor. So we have great resources there. We also have an on-campus food pantry. So if you have a food need, a grocery need at your house, you can come here once a week and pick up a bag of groceries. We want to make sure we're helping you meet those needs. We have accommodations. So if you received an IEP in high school, or if you may need an accommodation for your class, we can help provide those. And so we have great resources on campus. We also have new counseling services as well that's provided by the North Carolina Community College system that helps with both mental health counseling, legal services counseling, and financial planning. So that's another great resource that's still pretty new to our college. And then the last benefit is a lot of people think that when you go to community college, it's kind of an extension of high school, and we don't have events, we don't have clubs, we don't have ways to get involved outside of the classroom. But that's also not true. We do have on-campus engagement. Right now with COVID, a lot of it's virtual, but traditionally we have events once or twice a month, every month, where we get to offer you free food, free events, free training outside of the classroom, free workshops that you get to come and attend. And so you get the outside of the classroom learning as well, which also looks great on a resume. And it helps you get some experience outside of the classroom. And so we have those opportunities as well. So community college is great. The last benefit of coming to Wilson Community College is our admissions process is very easy. And we make it that way to benefit you as the student. Our application is always free. You don't just have to apply during college application week to get a free application. Anytime you apply, our application is free and it's online. So you can do it right there from home. Wherever you're at, you can apply. You would go to our website, and I can show you real quick. It's going to let me do it. I'm going to give you an example real quick through our website, how easy it is. So what you'll do is you will go to wilsoncc.edu, click this admissions tab here at the top, and you're going to see our whole process listed there. And so we have it in one place for you and simplify it for you. But the application is free, and you will start here. You're going to go through, and you probably are, if you're in high school now, you may already have a CF&C account. And so you've probably already started working on this. If you don't have an account, that's fine too. You can create one right here. But the first part is you have to complete the residency determination. And so what that is, it's going to determine if you're in state or out of state. The state of North Carolina has taken that on. And so you will click here, you will click here, and then you'll be right there, and you can use your CF&C login to complete that. Again, if you haven't done that before, then you can create a new account. And then you'll just go here to submit your application, and you're done with applying for that portion. After that, if you are a high school senior, all you have to do is submit your official high school transcript stating when you graduated and you are good for admission. We do not require any testing for students that have graduated in the U.S. In the last 10 years. So if you've graduated this year, if you graduated last year, if you're going to graduate this spring, you do not have to do any ACT, SAT, placement testing. No testing is required. Now, it can benefit you, and I'm going to tell you why. So what we're going to do is we're going to use your unweighted high school GPA to place you. And so if you have a 2.8 or higher unweighted, you get to come right in and take all of your college classes. You get to start your math and your Englishes and your program classes. If you have between a 2.2 and a 2.79, then you get to start all of your college classes. But when you take your math and English, you'll just have an extra class with your math and an extra class with your English, kind of like a tutoring session, making sure that you're successful in those classes. But it's not going to hold you back from taking your other classes. And then the other area, if you're below a 2.2 unweighted, then you'll have to do what we call a transition course before your English and a transition course before your math. Now, it may not hold you back from some of your other classes, and you can go ahead and start taking other classes, but we just want to make sure that you're ready for your college English and your college math. And so those are going to be, the prep classes to make sure that you're not wasting financial aid trying to take classes that you're not ready for. And so those classes are going to help you be successful. Now, if you have a lower GPA, that's okay too. If you take the ACT or SAT, that can potentially place you higher as well. So if you have that 2.2 or 2.4, but you've taken our qualifying ACT score and you have a qualifying ACT or SAT scores, that can still put you in the college math and English potentially, depending on what your score is. So it can be helpful to test. We just don't require it. And so it's always great to take the ACT or SAT. But the cool thing is if you come to Wilson Community College and you get your associate degree, you can transfer out and you don't have to worry about it. And so that's a benefit of coming here as well. And so that's the admissions process. We just need the free application and residency, your high school transcript, if you graduated in the last 10 years, and you're good for admission. Now, if you graduated over 10 years ago and you haven't taken any college classes, you may have to take the placement test. But if you've taken college classes, math and English related, then you probably don't have to test either. And so again, just a great benefit. We want to make sure there's no barriers of you getting through our doors. And so that's a huge part. We also have online programs. We have online courses, formats. We have hybrid classes. And of course, right now we have some seated courses, and traditionally we have more. So we try to have flexible schedules to fit your schedule, because we know a lot of our students are working. They're taking care of family members. You have a lot of responsibilities. And so we have flexible schedules, which will help benefit you. The last part I want to talk about is paying for college. So I encourage every student, no matter who you are, to apply for financial aid. All you have to do is go to fafsa.gov, fill out the application, submit required documentation, and you can just see what you qualify for. You may qualify for a grant, which is free money that you don't have to pay back, or you may qualify for a loan. And that's fine. It's money you'll have to pay back when you graduate, but you're here to get a great program that's going to get you a great job. And so it is totally beneficial for you to do that. The application for next year is open as of October 1st. So you can go to fafsa.gov and start your application today. Start for next fall 2021. And so I encourage you to do that. If you're in high school, we probably have someone that can help you with that. And we also have a financial aid department here at Wilson Community College that can help you if you have any questions. But make sure you submit that. We do have rolling admissions, which means we can still admit students up until August 1st, and even after August 1st, really, for fall of next year. Don't wait that long. It's helpful to go ahead and do it now. But that process, you can pretty much apply at any point before the semester starts, and we'll try to get you in. But financial aid is a little more time sensitive, so the earlier, the better. Just go to fafsa.gov, complete your free application, and see what you qualify for. And again, if you have questions, feel free to ask us. We do offer scholarships. That is one thing that a lot of students seem to be very confused about. They don't think that community colleges have scholarships. I get that question a lot. We do have scholarships. We give out over $100,000 a year in scholarships, and that application usually opens up in July and it's due in August. So keep that in mind as well. We do have scholarships and of course financial aid. We do have half tuition loans as well. So if you don't qualify for the financial aid that you want, you go to pay for classes and you don't have enough money, we can, if before the money runs out, we can lend you up to half of your tuition right there at the start of the semester, and you just have to pay it back a few months in. And so that's also an option. So we want to make sure you get through our doors. We want to make sure it's an easy process for you. And so we are available throughout this whole time. And so all you have to do is give us a call. And so I'm going to post my contact information as well in the chat so you can have that. Feel free to call me if you have any questions. Again, we want to make this process as simple as possible. So I'm going to turn it over to our academic deans, and they're going to talk about some of our specific programs for you.
Thanks, Josh. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you your admissions and paying for college presentation there. I want to go over the Business and Applied Technologies area. My name is Wes Hill. I'm the Dean of Business and Applied Technologies. And I've got a little presentation I want to show. Let's see if we can get this working right. All right. Again, my name is Wes Hill. I'm the Dean of Business and Applied Technologies. We've got, in our area, we've got actually 10 degrees and or degree tracks. We'll just go over all of them briefly and just kind of touch on some of the different interesting aspects of the Business and Applied Technologies area. First, we have our accounting program. The accounting program is a really strong program for us. We've got a number of students enrolled in the program. And if you think about businesses in general, just about every business that you can come across has some type of person who acts as part of the accounting department. Payroll, accounts payable, accounts receivable, those types of things are important jobs in all businesses. And of course, you've got to have someone to fill those positions. And our accounting program does a really good job of doing that. We we go through and you learn everything from, here again, payroll, accounts payable, accounts receivable, but also you learn Excel, you learn QuickBooks, you learn software that's part of that career. Many of our students really get jobs get jobs right after they finish their degree. It's funny, a lot of times in the spring, I get 3 or 4 or 5 emails really a month about, hey, do you have a student who might be eligible for this position? And a lot of times it is accounting. So a really good program if you like numbers, if you like to be detail oriented. And a number of our students also will continue on to 4-year schools, and many of them also get their master's degree as well. But here again, traditionally, students in the accounting program or graduates can get a job just about anywhere that a business would be. All kinds of fields, quite honestly. It's very open field, and really good salary options as well. So good program led by Stephanie Meadows, who's a really excellent instructor. Our business administration program is another degree that's a really popular one for us. The business administration degree is very general in that it's a degree that students can take and really go in a lot of different directions, which is really a benefit for them. We teach everything from economics to finance to ethics to the general business, small business type things, management leadership. And a degree in business administration will allow you to have a number of opportunities in the job field. Another degree that really transfers very well to a number of colleges, and a lot of our students do continue on to get a 4-year degree. Criminal justice is a degree that has been around this college a long time, and it really kind of coincides with one of our other programs, the Basic Law Enforcement Training Program. Many of our students come out of the BLET program, Basic Law Enforcement Training, to continue their degrees and to continue their careers, because in all honesty, nowadays a 2-year degree is extremely important in the law enforcement area. So we get a number of students out of that program. We also get a number of students who want to go into social work, go into to things like parole officer and DSS, those types of things. The degrees can be completed online. It also can be completed in a face-to-face environment. We also have a track with our early college as well, the WAP early college as well. So very diverse and really good program led by David Moody, who does a fantastic job with that as well. Culinary Arts is a program, it's a fun program that if you're creative, if you love to cook, it's a really awesome degree to pursue. We also have certificates in there as well. But I've seen students come in who, for lack of a better word, can't boil water, and they come out in their last semester preparing a 5-course meal. Just the turnaround or the ability to learn how to cook from the very basics to the very extreme. We teach those. And Chef David Bishop, who's a longtime chef, has been in the business for 30+ years. He does a really good job leading that program, and our students are it's a fun program, and we have a lot of students who come out there and get really good jobs. So once again, creativity, the want and the excitement of cooking blended together, Culinary Arts. Information technology is one of those programs that is just, in terms of today's world, needed, and our students go through that and they get jobs, to be very honest with you. Both tracks, we have 2 tracks. We have the IT support track and the network and cybersecurity track. Both are very popular. The IT support is more for those who like to work on computers in a physical standpoint, fix computers, troubleshooting, things along those lines, working with operating systems and so forth. The network and cybersecurity more is on the networking side and the prevention of cyber attacks. Once again, both tracks are fantastic. Our students as well get jobs right out of that, making really, really good money. And once again, in today's world, that is a very, very popular and very useful degree. And it's led by Kendra Faulkner, Martin Holloway, and Tim Boyd. And they do a great job teaching students as well. Medical Office Administration, another very popular program. Today's world, it's been a while. It's medical office administration and technology have meshed for a while now, but especially in the last few years with the onset of the digital files and things along those lines, there are a number of jobs out there in Wilson County, quite honestly, in this field. There are two tracks for that: the patient service representative, one that a student or graduate would go out and really work in an office, in a medical office or some sort of environment where they are face to face and interact with patients. The other one is the coding and billing track. That's one more that deals with the insurance side and coding different types of diseases and diagnoses and things like that. We teach both sides of those. The coding and billing track is one of those fields that if you're interested in working from home, that's a very good option there. You can work from home typically in those areas and make really good money as well. So another good program led by Keita Cornegi, and lots of job opportunities for that area. Office administration. No longer do you need just a high school diploma to be an administrative assistant. Most people now ask for a 2-year degree, and our office administration program does a great job of preparing those students for managing an office. Used to be if you could just use a calculator or use a 10-key adding machine and manage people, that would be enough. But nowadays, you've got to be a number of things as an office administrator. You've got to be able to handle the software aspect. You've got to be able to manage various files and digitally and so forth and so on. And Ms. Margie Mullis does a great job of leading that program and also teaching students the old/new ways of doing things. So students can walk into any type of office, quite honestly, after graduating from that program and do very well. And many of those students actually are ones that are maybe working in the office environment right now and just want to get a step up in terms of a degree for better pay and advancement and so forth. So anyway, once again, good program. And our last one is paralegal technology, led by Wendy Grode. Extremely strong program that once you're finished, you can sit for the paralegal certification through the State Board of North Carolina paralegal program. It's online as well, and if you think about attorneys, just in Wilson County, there are a lot of attorneys in our area. Every one of them needs a paralegal, and most of them need two, or at least firms need more than one. The DA's office, even BB&T, for example, they've hired a number of our paralegals, technology students who deal with their law area. So it's a degree that's very, very useful, and once again, very in terms of salary, does very well. Students who graduate from that program do very well from a salary standpoint too. And once again, Ms. Grow does a good job of leading that program. So just real quickly, that's the programs. But I want to make sure you understand too that our faculty do a wonderful job of teaching students, of making sure they're trained. The faculty themselves are trained in a number of different areas. We've got over 125 years of teaching experience that they have. Just as importantly to me is the industry experience. It's one thing to be able to teach, but it's also to understand what it means to be a paralegal or a chef or other things, an accountant. So they have a lot of experience in the industry as well. They've got a lot of contacts in the area that allow students to be able to get jobs and to get relationships with people in their industry. Just a few of the things I've got a PhD, we've got a retired state trooper, we've got a executive chef and a former attorney and small business owners. And so these people here again they're part of the industry. They know their craft, but they also do a good job teaching it as well. And so very proud of our faculty. And once again, just great people and great instructors that students really matriculate to and enjoy having in their programs. Train students, obviously that's the most important thing we do, is we want to make sure our students in the college in general are able to be trained and get out and get good jobs. They get jobs in a number of different areas a number of different businesses in the area. once again, BB&T, City of Wilson, Wilson Medical Center, Bridgestone, Firestone, I can go on and on. But our students are getting jobs, and that's the biggest thing. Once again, from a college standpoint, we want to make sure they're trained and can better their lives. A couple years ago, the college was named as #1 job placement college in the entire state by Perkins, and that's an important thing. And once again, our business and applied technology students are part of that, and they're getting jobs. They're also transferring to universities. We have articulation agreements with a number of university and private colleges in the area in business administration, accounting, criminal justice, information technology. So once they finish their degrees here, that's not the end. They're also getting, they're going forward and finishing their 4-year degrees, and many of them going to get a master's degree as well. So opportunity there for students to continue their degrees. And last but not least, once again, we have options. We've got 10 different degree track options I've already mentioned. We've got 24, 12 to 18-hour certifications and certificates. We've got 2 diploma programs in our area. So we have a lot of options in the business and applied technologies area. We're diverse in terms of how we deliver those options. We have degrees, online degrees in business administration, accounting, criminal justice, both tracks of IT, both tracks of medical office administration, office administration, and paralegal are all online degree programs. And the one really kind of cool thing, not cool thing, but one of the things that's come out of the pandemic is we've been more creative as a college in general on how we offer those classes. We've done a really good job in the last 3 or 4 or 5 years about making sure we have quality online classes, and that's really showing now. We've got synchronous classes coming up where you can meet at a certain time at night, day, whatever it might be, that the class is scheduled online, and you can complete your degree in that form. You can also come to campus as well. Hopefully in the near future we'll be back to campus more, but we have options in terms of the ability to complete your degree. And lastly, our certificates as well. Those are typically 12 to 18-hour certificates. We have those online too, and there's too many to list there, but the programs above have those certificates as online too. So once again, business and applied technologies, a lot of great programs, as the other departments have them as well. Really a lot of options and diverse set of classes that you could take. So if there's no questions, I'm going to actually hand it off to our next dean.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Margie Norfleet, and I'm the Dean of Industrial Technologies, otherwise known as the trades programs. Our programs are focused on technical and hands-on training. We believe each student is unique, and our instructors train students to reach their highest potential. The Industrial Technologies Department has several options in degree, diploma, and certificates. The Applied Engineering Technology program, our air conditioning, heating, and refrigeration program known as HVAC, automotive systems, biotechnology, electrical, building construction, and welding technology. What I'd like to do is ask you, some of you this morning, are you looking for your first career or a new career, or is Wilson Community Colleges can be your connection to an H3 occupation? Some of you are familiar with the high wage, high skill, and high demand jobs, which equal the H3 occupations. Not all students, like Joshua was saying earlier, are cut out for 4-year college, and our society is finding high-paying trade jobs sitting empty while high school grads line up for 4-year universities. Here's why it can pay to attend a community college. Jobs that provide good incomes are often more easily obtained after training at Wilson Community College. The simple fact is that many of these highest paying jobs in America are filled with people who begin their careers with training at a community college, receiving a certificate, diploma, or a 2-year associate's degree. Our programs are industry driven and are designed to meet the employer needs. Let's start with the Applied Engineering Technology program. It prepares individuals to use basic engineering principles and technical skills to solve technical problems in various types of industry. The curriculum includes courses in safety and math, electricity, and engineering technologies. Graduates qualify employment in a wide variety of positions in automation, electrical, industrial, and mechanical engineering fields, where graduates can function as industrial maintenance technicians. Currently in Wilson County, there are over 50 maintenance positions available at local industries. So that's definitely a high demand, high wage job that you can get after you graduate from applied engineering. The biotechnology curriculum is designed to meet the increasing demand for skilled laboratory technicians. The curriculum is designed to prepare students to serve in at least 3 very distinct capacities, including research assistants, to a biologist or a chemist, laboratory technicians, instrumentation technicians, and quality control, quality assurance technicians. Some of the local employers for pharma industries are like Purdue, Merck, and Fresenius Kabi, just to mention a few. The Air Conditioning, Heating, and Refrigeration Technology program, otherwise known as HVAC, provides the basic knowledge to develop skills necessary to work with residential and light commercial systems. Topics include mechanical, refrigeration, heating, cooling theory, electrical controls, and safety. The equipment that you see on the slide is a thermal imaging camera that allows our students to look at systems and see where a leak can be found, and also helps future technicians to recommend to homeowners an energy reduction plan. Students in this next slide are designing a housing for a new HVAC install. Industries reach out to us all the time to hire our students. The Automotive Technology program prepares individuals to apply technical knowledge and skills to repair, service, and maintain all types of automobiles. Coursework includes transportation systems theory, braking systems, climate control, drivetrains, electrical, engine repair, engine performance. That's one of the favorite classes of students, and environmental regulations like safety and OBD, steering, suspensions, transmissions, and of course, sustainable transportations. Graduates of this program should be prepared to take professional licensure exams, for example, certifications like ASEs, and we also partnered with Toyota recently to bring the Toyota Level 1 technician, and we also offer numerous NC3 industry-driven certifications. And you see some of our students in this slide. They are actually in transmissions class, and they have taken apart a transmission, and now they're putting it back together. So you can see the type of hands-on trainings that our students really thrive in that environment. Our newest program, the Building and Construction program, is designed to prepare students to apply technical knowledge and skills to residential and commercial construction buildings, and sometimes in remodeling projects. Coursework include things like construction equipment and safety, site preparation and layout, construction estimating, print reading, building codes, framing, heating, ventilation, anything that has to do with building and construction, and anything in residential and commercial fields. Most graduates are seeking to obtain their general contractor's license upon completion of the program. And you'll notice that we also have a female student in our program. This is the first semester of this program, and we're super excited about some of the things that they've been doing. They've built some benches across campus, and they're currently working on their first building. So we're looking forward to starting that. The Electrical Systems Technology program provides the installation and maintenance of electrical systems found in residential, commercial, and industry facilities. Coursework in this program includes topics like AC/DC theory, basic wiring practices, programmable logic controllers, industrial motors, and applications of the National Electric Code. Graduates qualify for a variety of jobs in the electrical field as like on-the-job trainees, apprentice assistants in layouts, installations, and maintenance of electrical systems. And I hope you've noticed in some of the pics, more and more females are seeking to enter non-traditional careers. I hope you're noticing some of our female students that we're super proud of. Our state-of-the-art welding program provides students with a sound understanding of the science and technology and applications essential for employment in the welding and metal industries. Instruction includes a lot of consumable and non-consumable electro welding and cutting processes. Students will learn how to pipe weld and MIG and TIG weld. The pics you see now are two of the newest pieces of equipment that we just added this past year, a robotic welder and plasma cutting table. They were recently highlighted in an article in the Wilson Daily Times. Career opportunities also exist in construction, manufacturing, fabrication, sales, quality control, supervision, and welding-related self-employment. Thank you so much for taking this tour. I'm so pleased to have this time to kind of show you what were some of the trades programs that we're most proud of. And I'd like to pass it on to the next dean.
Good morning, everybody. I am Sherelle Roberts, and I oversee the College Transfer and Public Services Program. All right, so the College Transfer and Public Services Program or department includes a college transfer, which Mr. Harris covered earlier, for those students who are planning to transfer to a four-year university. Also, the Community Spanish Interpreter Program for those students who are wanting to work in schools or other areas as interpreters for the Spanish language. Early childhood education for students who want to work in child care centers, other early college organizations working with children from birth to 8 years old. Our interpreter education program for students who want to work as sign language interpreters. And our school age program for students who would like to work in elementary school or in other areas dealing with elementary school age children. So the first program I cover is college transfer. Mr. Harris has already gone over a lot of what I was going to say about that, but I'll add in a few other details. So the college transfer program is for students who want to attend a four-year university, but you want to have the advantage of getting your first 2 years of college, out of the way in a smaller setting at a much cheaper rate. And then transfer into that four-year university as a junior. So your first 2 years of your four-year degree typically include your gen ed classes. So when you come here to WCC in the college transfer program, you'll take 45 semester hours of your gen eds, and then you can take 15 additional hours in electives, depending on what major you plan to enroll in at the university. To what colleges can you transfer? They would include UNC schools such as ECU, NC State, Elizabeth City State University, and then also any of our 27 to 36 private schools that we have that are in the institutions of North Carolina Independent Colleges and Universities, Barton, North Carolina Wesleyan, or Meredith College. The benefits of starting here and being enrolled in the college transfer degree program includes it improves your chance of being accepted into a four-year university. So as long as you earn a C or better in every course and you have at least a 2.0 GPA upon graduation, you can transfer to any university within our UNC system or to one of our private colleges that I mentioned earlier. And as Mr. Harris spoke about, we do have university partnerships. So you have guaranteed admission into ECU and UNCW if you have at least a 2.5 GPA upon graduation. And for students who come from low to moderate income backgrounds, we also have a partnership with NC State where you can be a dual enrolled student. So that means you can take classes at both NC State and at WCC with no additional cost. And as long as you have at least a 3.0 GPA upon graduation, you have guaranteed admission there as well. So starting here in the college transfer program also saves you money. So, you're looking at about anywhere from $12,000 to $30,000 a year at a four-year university or college, sometimes even higher for those private colleges. But here you're looking at paying about $2,000 a year as a full-time student who's taking 12 hours. You also get more one-on-one interaction with your faculty. So for our English classes, you'll have no more than 25 students in a class. That goes for our math classes as well. And for our other gen ed classes, if they're online, you have no more than 30 students in a class. And the reason that helps is, I know for me, in personal experience, my first year at ECU, I had a biology class, and there were no opportunities for me to meet with my professor one-on-one and to get that one-on-one help. So you do have that here at WCC in the College Transfer Program. You also have more time to decide on your career options. And I'm happy to say that we also offer a fast track option. So for students who want to complete their college transfer degree in a year, we have that for the Associate in Arts program. So you would take classes every 8 weeks, and you'll be done in 1 year, and you'll be able to transfer to the university and have all of your gen ed courses out of the way. And here are our great faculty. Our faculty are so dedicated to helping all of our students learn and achieve their goals. They stay up at all hours of the night, a lot of times just to grade and answer emails, to revise some of their lessons, just to make sure you are prepared. Many of them, all but one of the faculty you see listed here, also serve as advisors for the college transfer program. So they are truly dedicated to just making sure you're successful. Next is our early childhood and school age education programs. So our early childhood education program is for students who want to focus on children from birth to age 8. So if you want to work in a child care center, or and that's where many of our students go after graduation. If you want to be a child care center administrator, this program is for you. For our school age education program, is for students who want to focus on children in elementary through middle grade. And both programs will focus on child growth and development, nutritional needs, care and guidance, communication skills, and even computer technology in education, because that's becoming more and more important. So in fall 2018, we were able to implement 2 new transfer tracks for early childhood. So if you want to transfer to a 4-year university and earn your Bachelor of Science in birth through kindergarten and become licensed as a birth through K teacher, we now have that track available to you. Or if you just want to transfer to a 4-year university and earn your Bachelor of Science in Early Childhood Education without the license, you're planning to work outside of the classroom, then we have that option for you as well. And these are just some of the salaries for graduates who go on to work in early childhood and school age education sectors. So child care center administrators. And as you can see, you can earn up to $72,000 as a child care administrator and director. Some go on to work as sales representatives, where you're just trying to help schools, and you build relationships with schools to make sure they have the software and different products they need to be successful in the classroom. Our next program is the Community Spanish Interpreter program. Upon graduation, students from this program will qualify as entry-level paraprofessional bilingual employees in educational settings and other settings. So if you enroll in this program and graduate, you are prepared to work as an interpreter for the Spanish language. There is no license required to be a Spanish interpreter. However, if you want to go into other sectors such as the legal area, the job may require or ask that you gain some type of certification in that area, or in the healthcare, they may want certification there. But to be just a general community Spanish interpreter, you do not need a license. So this degree will prepare you for that field. This is our Spanish interpreter, community Spanish interpreter program. For the degree, it's only 68 hours. Our Spanish for the workplace certificate could serve as a bonus if you have a degree already and you just want to be get more familiar with, and gain more skills in the Spanish speaking language. To assist you in your current job, you can get the Spanish for the Workplace certificate. It's only 18 hours. And then the Spanish language certificate if you just want to just improve those skills or polish those skills. And here are some of the salaries for Spanish interpreters. So the median annual wage for interpreters was $51,830 in May 2019. And here are some of your best paying cities: Washington, D.C., 79,000, New York, 76. And if you want to stay a little bit closer to home, at Virginia Beach, 68,000. So there's a lot of potential there to make really good money as an interpreter. If you're planning to stay in North Carolina, the base salary is about $50,000. You can make about $23 an hour. And so that comes up to about $50,000 a year if you're working a full-time work week schedule. Some of the highest paying cities that we have in North Carolina are Greensboro, where you can make about $72,000 a year. Also Fayetteville and Raleigh. Then we have our Interpreter Education American Sign Language program, and this is for students who want to work as either a staff interpreter in various professional settings, educational interpreter, or if you want to work as a freelance sign language community interpreter. So in other words, to be an independent interpreter. So upon graduation, you will be eligible to sit for and apply for your provisional license. Everyone who's a graduate, if you have that degree, that qualifies you to get your provisional license and apply for it and get that, and you'll have 3 to 5 years to get your full license as a community interpreter. If you want to work as an educational interpreter, you will be eligible upon graduation to take the educational interpreter performance assessment. And some of the perks of being an interpreter: you get to set your own flexible schedule if you're working as a freelance sign language interpreter, working a variety of settings, working an average of 20 to 30 hours a week. And you can earn between $25 and $47 an hour, and that just depends on your national certification status. The job market for this field is expected to grow by about 18% between 2016 and 2026. And I'll pass it on to Ms. Becky Strickland.
Thank you, Sherrill. So I'm Becky Strickland, and I am the Dean of Allied Health here at Wilson Community College. Okay, so as I listened to Mr. Harris and Dr. Roberts talk about the college transfer program, it reminded me a little bit of my own journey. I have been a registered nurse for 15 years. And I actually started my education right here at Wilson Community College in the college transfer program. I did 2 years of my general education courses here at Wilson Community College. And then I transferred to a university where I received my bachelor's degree in nursing. So, as many of you may find, my parents were in a situation where they couldn't afford a 4-year university. And so, when I graduated from high school, the community college was a very appealing option for me because it was very affordable. And even though I did end up transferring to a 4-year university, I can tell you that, I'm still paying student loans from that 4-year degree, but all of my first 2 years of general education at the community college was paid for. And so when they talk about the affordability of the education you get out of the community college, I'm a true example of that it really is an affordable education. And so the programs that are under my division are the Associate Degree Nursing Program, the Practical Nursing Program, and the Surgical Technology Program. And so the Associate Degree Nursing Program is a 2-year program. And when you complete that program, you will sit for the NCLEX licensure exam where you can obtain your certification as a registered nurse. And so many of you probably are familiar with the registered nurse role, but just in case you aren't, registered nurses work in a variety of different settings, from your hospital setting to your long-term care facilities to your doctor's offices, home health agencies, Pharmaceutical companies a lot of times will hire nurses to help sell some of their pharmaceutical products. So there's lots of opportunities for registered nurses, and especially during the time that we're in now, in the middle of a pandemic, we've never needed nurses more than we do right now. So, if you're interested in a nursing career, the associate degree nursing program is a great option because it is a 2-year program, and you can start and finish in 2 years. As we've said, it's very affordable. You can get your education for the entire 2 years for less than $10,000, and you can go to work and make a fairly good salary. The average hourly wage right now for a registered nurse straight out of college is about $23 to $25 an hour, and that's not including shift differentials. If you were to work at a facility that's a 24/7 facility, of course, you would get paid more if you're working a night shift or a holiday shift. So we do have the associate degree nursing option, and we have both a day and an evening option. So our day program, of course, is a traditional day option. Students meet usually Monday through Thursday. They have 2 days of class a week, and then they have 2 days of either lab or clinical a week. Clinical rotations happen out in our community healthcare agencies, and so we use facilities like Wilson Medical Center, Nash UNC, Wayne UNC, Wake Med. We use a variety of health departments, home health agencies, pediatric offices. And so students are actually out in these facilities getting real life hands-on clinical experiences. And the evening option is a great option for students who work during the day and need to continue to work full-time and still go to school. And so with our evening option, we do admit to that program every other year. We're currently accepting applications for fall 2021. And our evening classes meet 2 evenings a week and every other weekend. And the classes start during the week at 6 p.m. So if you work an 8 to 5 job, it's fairly easy for you to be here by 6 to be in class. And usually the classes are over, depending on the semester, either by 8 or 9 p.m. at night. And so again, it's 2 evenings a week and then every other weekend. And students really like that option. That's been one of our more popular programs. And we've been running that program for about 3 years now. We've graduated several students from that program who've been wanting to be nurses for a long time, but could not afford to quit their job to go to nursing school. So I'd say probably at least 80% of students enrolled in our evening option program do work full-time jobs and go to school. We also have our practical nursing program. And so the practical nursing program is a 1-year diploma program. And at the end of that program, students can sit for their LPN licensure exam. And, pending they pass that licensure exam, then they will become an LPN. And so the difference in a RN and an LPN is LPNs have a little more limited scope than an RN. They work with a more stable client population. We are seeing hospitals hiring LPNs some, but when they do, they're not hiring them usually to work in an emergency setting or a critical care setting. They're usually hiring them on their medical surgical units. You also see LPNs working in your long-term care facilities, home health agencies, doctor's offices, and depending on the setting you choose to go work in, depends on the salary range, but LPNs can still make a really good salary. The starting salary for an LPN for a new graduate runs anywhere from $18 to $22 an hour. And again, that depends on what facility you go to. If you go to a long-term care facility that is a 24/7 facility, you're going to make even more than that because of the shift differentials and weekend and holiday pay. The surgical technology program has recently moved to a 2-year program. And in case you're not, most people don't know what a surgical technologist is because, anybody that has surgery is usually asleep during the surgery. and you don't realize that there's actually a surgical technologist in that operating room assisting the surgeon. And so if you're interested in the healthcare field and you kind of like the more gory parts of it, and you want to get right up in the action, then the surgical technologist is a good role to get into. They actually are the right hand of the surgeon during the surgery. And so they make sure that prior to the surgery, that all the instruments that the surgeon needs is set up on the table. And so they set everything up on the table, and then during the surgery, they're right next to the surgeon, handing the surgeon instruments back and forth across the table. And they make sure that all the instruments are accounted for, nothing is left inside of a patient. And they make sure that after the procedure that everything's sterilized and cleaned. So they play a very important role. At the end of the Surg Tech program, the students do sit for a licensure exam and to become a CST, a Certified Surgical Technologist. And we're seeing the need for Surg Techs rise more and more as places start to develop these outpatient surge centers. Used to surgeries were only completed inside of the hospitals, and now you're seeing a lot more procedures that are same day types of surgeries. And so with that, you're seeing these outpatient centers pop up, and those outpatient centers are using Surg Techs to help run those centers. So anyway, the job market for Surg Techs has really increased over the last couple of years. And we have an excellent surgical technology program instructor. I'll flip to my next slide, and got all the faculty here, but Ms. Beth Davis, who's the very first one pictured here, is our Surg Tech instructor. And Ms. Davis also has an interesting story. She was a Surg Tech student who came through our program and obtained her certification in surgical technology and worked as a surgical technologist for a few years. And then she came back to Wilson Community College and got her nursing degree, and then went and worked in the field as a OR nurse for several years, and then came back to us as an instructor. So she's also homegrown. So just a little bit more information about our faculty. 100% of our nursing faculty do have master's degrees, and a number of them have their master's degrees that specialize in nursing education. So they are experts in educating nurses. They have a variety of different specialties. When you come to nursing school, regardless of what type of nurse you want to be, if you want to be a baby nurse or you want to be a ICU nurse, you're going to have to get trained in all areas of nursing. And when you graduate, you can then go work in the area that you want to work in. But in school, you're going to have to be trained in all areas. And when you take the licensure exam, you're going to be tested in all those areas. And so our nursing faculty have a variety of specialties, from medical surgical nursing to obstetrics to emergency nursing, mental health nursing, pediatric nursing, rehab, and public health. They have a total of 500 years of industry experience, and that includes both our full-time and part-time faculty that we have employed. We have a number of great adjunct faculty that we use. Our clinical ratios usually are anywhere from 7 to 1. So when you're in that clinical area and you're working with an instructor, it'll be you and just 6 or 7 other students. We do try to maintain those small clinical groups so that we make sure that you get good instruction and that you get the attention you need from your clinical instructor. Some of the comments that we hear from students about our faculty is that they are compassionate, they're nurturing, and that they have a caring attitude. And that's been one of the things. I've been working here at Wilson Community College for 12 years. And I can say from my experience here, that's one of the things that I'm very proud of in our nursing program, is that we do care about our students. And, you're not just a name or a number. We really try to relate to our students and be as nurturing and as helpful as we can. We do have, smaller class sizes. We get, maybe 30 in a first year class. But that's a lot smaller than what you would see at a university. You know, you, as Mr. Harris said, you might be in a class at a university with, you know, 300-400 people in a class, and so you're not going to be in a class of that size here. We do offer a variety of clinical experiences in Wilson County and also in surrounding counties, so that when you graduate from any of our allied health programs, you'll have a very diverse experience in a variety of different settings. And when you graduate, you'll have a good knowledge base of what those settings entail so that you can really choose where you want to go work when you graduate. We do have good success in our programs. Our PN program, 2 years in a row, ranked number 3 and number 4 as far as having the highest NCLEX pass rates and the highest retention rates in the state. And that was according to practicalnursing.org. So we've had, you know, really good success rates in our LPN program. This past year, we've so far had 100% pass rate on the NCLEX licensure exam. Our licensure exams across the board tend to be above the national average for all of our programs. Our associate degree nursing program has a 90% NCLEX 3-year average from the years 2015 to 2017. And we're still in our next 3-year period. The practical nursing program had 100% 3-year average from 2015 to 2017. And our Surg Tech program had a 97% 3-year average for the CST exam. And that is an accredited program. I mentioned these numbers because it is important, no matter what school you choose, that you look at what their passing standards are. Because when you go to a nursing program or a Surg Tech program, you finish with a degree, but you can't be employed until you pass your licensure exams. And so it's really important that we prepare students to make sure that they are qualified to pass those licensure exams. Because when you finish with us, we want you to go on to be a registered nurse or a licensed practical nurse or CST. And, you know, or else you're not going to get a job in that field. So, so we're very proud that we do have high standards in those areas, and our faculty continue to, you know, work with the National Council and different agencies to make sure that they stay informed on changes in testing and that they are teaching to the appropriate curriculum standards. One other thing that we are very proud of is our state-of-the-art simulation lab. Simulation is a tool that a lot of nursing programs are using now, and where we use high fidelity mannequins to simulate real people. And so we have a virtual medical center over at Wilson Medical Center's campus, and it's set up like a virtual hospital. And we utilize this facility so that students can go there and they can practice on mannequins before they actually do skills on a real person. So that when you do have to do that skill on a real person, you're competent and you're qualified and you know what you're doing, and you already have that experience. And so in these images, you can see students there practicing skills on our mannequins. And these mannequins are not just like, you know, the mannequins you may be familiar with. They actually breathe and they talk and they have heartbeats. And so the students can practice all sorts of skills on them. When they go to stick a needle in these patients or these mannequins, I call them patients because they are like patients, but when they go to stick a needle in these mannequins, they can actually get blood returned just like they would on a real person. So anyway, we're really proud of our virtual medical center, and it was a facility that it was a collaboration between Wilson Medical Center and Wilson Community College, and also the Golden Leaf Foundation. So those agencies helped to fund getting that facility. And so why should you choose the community college for your allied health degrees? 1/3 of the cost or less of university tuition. You know, I mentioned myself, you know, I'm still paying for school loans from my bachelor's degree. And so the community college is very affordable. Four-year institutions do have nursing programs as well. And when you graduate from those programs, you are a registered nurse, just like you would be a registered nurse when you graduated from our associate degree program. The difference would be you'd have that bachelor's degree in nursing if you did choose to go to a four-year school. And so what I usually recommend to students is to, get your associate's degree first. And then if you want to go back later and you want to get that bachelor's degree, you can transfer to a four-year institution and do it and save yourself a lot of money. We have experienced faculty. We have a nurturing atmosphere. You get hands-on experiences. You're very employable as a nurse. We have a very good reputation that speaks for itself. We have graduates working all over the place, and they'll tell you that they are very proud of the education they received. And of course, transferability. If you do get your registered nurse here and you choose to transfer to a four-year institution, then you can do that. Your courses that you take here do still transfer.
Thank you to our academic deans. We really appreciate all of the information that you gave us about our programs. To you, the viewer, I just hope that one thing that you're getting from this information is that we are here literally to help you, meet your goals, whether that is your professional goals or your academic goals. We are here for full support. If you do have questions, if this stuff starts marinating with you and in a day or two, or even this afternoon, if you have questions, call me, email me. I'm here to answer those questions. Again, our application's free. All we need is your official high school transcript if you've graduated in the last 10 years. The process is simple. And if you need help navigating the website or any part of our application, please let us know. Thank you for attending. Again, reach out. My contact is in the chat. Thank you.